Hi, Drew. This is Trevor Coleman, the University of Missouri baseball graduate assistant coach, and I wanted to spend some time today doing a video analysis of your swing. I first want to thank you for being a part of our 2014 hitting experience up here at the Mizzou facilities. We greatly appreciate your commitment to coming up here and hitting every weekend. Hopefully you took a lot out of the experience to be able to compete against your peers and kind of see how you stack up. At the same time, be able to get in quite a few swings. So this is part of the instruction part of the camp and what we witnessed in your swing. And I'm going to give you some tips for improvement, point out some good and not so good things that I see in your swing. And hopefully you can use this along with the multiple skill sheets of all those drills. Hopefully you can use those to your advantage and become a better hitter because of it. So let's start out taking a look at your swing here. This is of course off a tee. We will start, and I just want to let you watch it one time through. Sometimes, in our playing, we don't get to really see ourselves swing. It just doesn't happen that much, especially in youth baseball. So I'm going to play it one time through for you just to take a look and see. Hopefully, you can recognize some of the things that you feel as you're swinging. So here we go. Good. Okay, so let me play it back here. We're going to start from the very beginning. The first thing I want to point out is each player's stance is completely unique to themselves. However, there are some certain things that must really accomplish. Let me delete that. That we really need to accomplish in our stance. And the first thing that I notice here is that your feet are closed. It's going to make it very difficult for us to be a consistent hitter of the baseball if in our stance we start closed. The reason for that is we have to make a secondary and reciprocal move to accurately take our bat head and maximize our hips towards the baseball. So the first adjustment I would make, and this is pretty simple, one of the best ways to do it is just take a 2x4 or a simple board or an object really that's long enough to hit both feet and keep it in front of you. So it forces you to stay square to the pitcher, square to the baseball. And then you'll have instant feedback if you can't get in that right spot. So that's my tip number one for you. And it seems really simple, but it will have dramatic impact on your swing going forward. So let's keep the line in there. And I'm going to tick this forward a little bit. I also want to point out, let me pause it real quick. I'm sure you know this, but I want to talk about it a little bit more in depth, is your toe tap. There's different forms of mechanisms that hitters use to create momentum and to be on time to the pitch. And the one that looks like you've chosen, obviously, is a toe tap. So let's break it down kind of frame by frame, because the toe tap's fine. It takes quite a bit of work to maintain and to keep consistent. But in yours, I see a flaw that is going to lead to some trouble down the road. So let's keep watching here. So there we go. We tap. We bring the foot back. We tap our toe on the ground, okay, which is exactly what we would look for. This is the issue that we see. This is a common issue with guys that like to have a toe tap. We go from here and watch what happens to our foot. It really opens up. So two things have happened. One, our toe has opened up, okay, which has allowed our front hip to kind of fly open. But we've actually also moved off of the closed line that we were on. We originally were on a somewhat closed trajectory towards first base or towards the pitcher, and now not only have we opened our toe up prematurely, but we've also stepped away from the pitch, which is going to, in essence, have us run out of bat as we approach the baseball. I want to point out another interesting feature, and I want to do this mainly because we're going to see it again here in a minute when I compare you to a major leaguer. is we have our feet are kind of in a awkward stance, especially our back foot. It goes back to angles within our feet and within our body to effectively hit the baseball. When our back foot is open, we are leaving a lot of room for our weight to stay back on our backside. It becomes much more difficult for us to transfer our weight through the baseball because we're not turned to maximize our swing, if that makes sense. So I wanted to make sure I mentioned that, and we'll take a look at that here in a minute. Some other things that I see in your swing. We have the potential to get a little too far wrapped around. And by that, we're going to look up here. I'm going to show you this oval. I'm just going to circle our hands here. When we click this back a few frames, we're going to watch. Okay. So as we get going, we get to, oops, I missed it. Get to this point right there. Okay. That we have these pretty extreme angles going on here. So what happens is it's making it very difficult for us to be accurate and on time with our bat end because this entire thing has to uncoil to get to the baseball. Okay? So when we go to load, our hands sneak back and up a little bit more and wrapped around our head. And when we go to hit the baseball, we have to fully uncoil that thing to get it going. If we had a more straight line in our arms going backward, then all we would have to do is go straight forward with them, if that makes sense, instead of having to go all the way around our head and bring everything back to the baseball. Okay, so these are some things I want to continue to look at as we move into part 2 of the swing analysis, where we're going to check in with the major league hitter and see some similarities and differences within your swing. So I'll see you in a minute. Thank you. Bye.